thank you for joining me. I'm Kurt Elster. I'm a Shopify partner, a Shopify expert, and an agency owner. I run this agency business called Ethercycle, and that's where we're now, this big blue office. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you today about my experience with Shopify, the Shopify Partner Program. There's several reasons I love the Shopify Partner Program. And not just because it puts food on my table. And I wanted to share those with you. And probably the best way to do that is just to tell you my story, my journey a little bit. And it won't take long, I promise. So in the mid-2000s, I had a full-time job. I worked for a local e-commerce dropshipper. And you might be able to relate to this. Every day that I went to work felt like turning myself into jail. So one day, I quit my job. I didn't really have a plan, but I ended up being a freelance web designer. And I made a living. It was fine, and we added more people. And somewhere in the course of that, a local bike shop asked us for help, because as generalists, we didn't turn anything away. And they wanted an e-commerce store, and it had to be easy to use and inexpensive. And we ended up building a completely custom Shopify theme. We looked at a bunch of platforms. We decided on Shopify because it was best for them as far as features and ease of use. And we really cut our teeth doing a custom theme. That's probably like the biggest, hardest project you could do for Shopify. But we loved it. We thought this is another tool in our toolbox. We'll keep using it. And as fate would have it, Dan reached out to us and asked if we would want to be part of the Shopify Partner Program. And of course, we said yes. And he promised us two things. If we bring on new Shopify stores, we would get a 20% affiliate payment, and we would get leads through this thing called the Shopify Experts Program. And he lived up to those promises. We got those two things. And then we started getting more and more and more, until eventually by 2015, we refocused our business, just niche down, laser focus. We only do Shopify stores. And the effect that had on our business, both moving into a niche and focusing on a successful growing platform like Shopify, resulted us in getting an 8x boost, or 8x huge, massive growth in our in our revenue year over year. So this January, we did 8 times what we did the previous January, which is astounding, amazing. And part of that has been, there was two things. We offered a service just for Shopify called Website Rescues, and you could check that out. It's websiterescues.com. And we combined that with Shopify Partners Program, and we started taking advantage of this Shopify community. And that's really the thing I love most about Shopify, is the community. No other platform has this. So the Shopify community, obviously, it's the things you'd expect, like forums, and, there's people tweeting about it, obviously. But it goes way bigger than that. So just by virtue of being involved with Shopify, there's been interviewed for a book, been interviewed for articles. I was asked by Shopify to publish a chapter in their handbook, which is amazing. So without Shopify, I wouldn't be a published author. There's the podcast, and we ended up doing our own podcast, the unofficial Shopify podcast. And there's even a Slack channel. And the Slack channel is kind of cool because Shopify didn't start it. An independent just store owner started this Shopify podcast, or started this Shopify Slack channel. And the guy did it just to get together like a brain trust of Shopify people to help him. And Shopify embraced it to the point that I saw the CEO of Shopify in there, and even, was able to go one-to-one with him and ask him questions, which is super cool. He's like, it's a very big company at this point. By my standards anyway, it's a big company. But he was able to pull back the curtain and answer questions about Shopify, which was great. And I think that just really shows you the kind of culture that we're dealing with them. But, a couple other things they've done. We've hosted officially sponsored Shopify meetups. And they advertised those for us. They told us they even, gave us the materials to present, told us how to set it up, and then even sent us a box of swag. So bam, there's my Shopify t-shirt, my Shopify swag. And through that, we've netted friends, and new clients, which is just phenomenal. And And I never would have done that before I became a Shopify partner. But they enabled me to do it. So yeah, circling back, the thing, if you're just considering to join the Shopify Partners program, I will put it to you this way. Previously, I was lucky if I got 6 to 10 leads in a month, and I was thrilled if I got it in a week. There are days where we get 10 leads a day for Shopify, and we are by no means like the number one Shopify partner. We're just we're a good Shopify partner, but we're not in the top 10, and we're still getting more leads than we can handle because it's a growing platform. And the stuff, where we can't service the client, I just refer those to other Shopify partners. And I don't at all view it as competition anymore. I just view it as a community helping people out, because I think a rising tide lifts all boats. And in this case, Shopify is that tide. With 150,000 stores online right now and more coming online every day, it's a very exciting time to be a Shopify partner. They're shooting Nerf darts at me.